Plenty, lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
All right, Gracie, come on out and meet your sister. That was the moment yesterday. Had all of us in tears, reapplying our makeup. Millions of you clicking on Facebook to see it again. 10 million and counting. Twin sisters Audrey and Gracie separated at birth, meeting for the first time in person. They had FaceTime together, but it was the first time they were meeting face to face. They did it right here in GMA.
I just burst out of there.
Oh, it was so authentic. And wait till you see what happened after the reunion. They were inseparable. We're going to show you their first day together.
Look at that.
And what they learned about each other coming up. They did the same thing as I was leaving the studio yesterday. They were holding hands, skipping down the hall. Yeah. And I was like
there's a reason why they have that term separated at birth. I mean, you can just tell they belong together.
They really do.
And I tell you, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I could watch it all day.
Looks like we gave them a late night in Times Square.
Hopefully they're sleeping right now.
Only way to do it, George.
Also right now, new questions about Donald Trump's cabinet nominees. Tough confirmation hearing yesterday for Secretary of State candidate Rex Tillerson. A lot more coming up today. Secretary of Defense candidate General James Mattis. Ben Carson, he's going for Housing Secretary. Mike Pompeo, this is a tough one to head the CIA. And football fans, San Diego waking up to some unfortunate news this morning. Sources say the Chargers planning to move the franchise to Los Angeles. Reports that the team's owner told Commissioner Roger Goodell and other owners he intends to relocate the team. It's been in San Diego since 1961.
Were they in LA before that? Were they in Los Angeles before they moved to?
Yeah, no, the L.A., the Rams were in L.A., the Raiders were in L.A. I don't think the Chargers.
I thought at some point, you know, right now in the control room, they're like...
That's right, somebody's going to tweet it in, don't worry about that.
But if you're a Charger fan, you are disappointed.
Sure.
But it was hard for them because they didn't get the new stadium deal. And, you know, I think that kind of affected their decision.
But come on, the fans, you know, you give so much as a fan.
You need a stadium, Robin, and you can still go to the game, I guess.
I guess so.
Okay, that's coming up. We have a lot more to get to. We're going to dig down now on how Russia spies on the U.S. You saw the president-elect deny those unconfirmed claims that they caught him on camera in compromising situations. But as our chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross reports, that is standard operating procedure for the KGB. Brian's back with a closer look. Hey, Brian.
Hey, good morning, George. The Cold War may be over and the KGB may have a different set of initials, but it's increasingly clear from the new allegations out of Russia that the world's second oldest profession, espionage, is alive and well in Moscow. Spies up to their old tricks, including the use of members from an even older profession. This is the kind of video every American diplomat and business person is warned about when traveling to Russia. A U.S. embassy employee secretly filmed, allegedly with a prostitute in a Moscow hotel, complete with background music. U.S. officials say a Russian spy agency posted this video online after the diplomat refused to work as a double agent.
The Cold War ended, but the Russian intelligence operations in hotels in Moscow targeted against Americans has never stopped.
Which is why U.S. officials felt they could not simply dismiss the unsubstantiated allegations that the Russians had targeted Donald Trump when he traveled to Moscow in 2013 for the Miss Universe contest. Trump claimed Wednesday he was too smart to fall for any such Russian trap.
In those rooms, you have cameras in the strangest places, cameras that are so small with modern technology, you can't see them and you won't know. You better be careful, or you'll be watching yourself on nightly television.
U.S. officials say the Russian spy agencies are increasingly aggressive and don't seem to care who knows it. The hacked emails from the Democratic Party were quickly linked to the Russians. U.S. officials say the Russians 3 years ago bugged the phone of a U.S. Assistant Secretary of State, Victoria Nuland, and then posted her conversations online, including a profane reference to the European Union.
That would be great, I think, to help glue this thing and have the UN help glue it. And, you know, the EU.
And the espionage efforts continue apace outside of Russia. British officials have linked the murder of Putin rivals in London to Russian intelligence officers. And experts say spies like the ones depicted in the FX network program, The Americans, are still prevalent.
Super secret spies living next door. They look like us. They speak better English than we do.
a suburban couple in the 1980s leading a double life, planted by and reporting back to Moscow.
We won't let you down, General.
The modern-day version involved Russian spies, some of whom have been kicked out of the country after being discovered in Boston, Washington, and New York. Most memorably, the glamorous young Russian woman, Anna Chapman, now back in Russia as a hero.
They could be anybody. They could be your neighbor. They could be anybody else. But you look at them, you look at the background, and there's no indication that that individual is connected with, for example, the Russian government.
Experts say such undercover operations are a technique favored by a former KGB colonel who's now the Russian president, Vladimir Putin.
And, of course, it was President Putin who the U.S. says was behind the hacking of the Democratic Party, all designed to help elect Donald Trump, George.
Of course, they're making no judgment on this targeting of Vladimir.
Still unsubstantiated, but they're very active in any case.
Okay, Brian Ross, thanks very much.
George, we're going to move on now to those sexual harassment allegations involving top names at Fox News. Former host Juliet Huddy claimed Bill O'Reilly made repeated unwanted advances. Huddy reportedly struck a settlement with Fox shortly after Chairman Roger Ailes was ousted amid similar accusations by another Fox personality. ABC's Lindsay Janis joins us now with the details. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Robin. That reported settlement kept quiet until now. Huddy threatening to sue Fox, claiming when she rebuffed O'Reilly's advances, he tried to derail her career. This morning, newly uncovered allegations against Fox News. The cable network reportedly reached a financial settlement regarding sexual harassment allegations, this time against star anchor Bill O'Reilly.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight.
In a draft of a letter of complaint obtained by lawnews.com, a website owned by Dan Abrams, ABC News chief legal analyst, Juliet Huddy, a former Fox News host who had a segment on the O'Reilly factor, claims she was replaced after rebuffing several sexual advances from O'Reilly.
I don't know how to explain this, Juliet Huddy.
The document alleges in 2011, O'Reilly gave Huddy a tour of his home, where he allegedly moved in and kissed her on the lips. Huddy's lawyers saying she allegedly recoiled and actually fell to the ground. Huddy's lawyers claiming the following week O'Reilly allegedly took her to a Broadway show, dropped the key to his hotel room into Miss Huddy's lap, and when she went to return it, Mr. O'Reilly opened the door wearing nothing but boxer shorts. They allege O'Reilly retaliated on and off the air.
I think you do, Bill. We would not have this on the show if you didn't care.
You can think whatever you want. I don't care whether it's banned or not.
Huddy, who worked at Fox for 18 years, also claims she was sexually harassed by current Fox News co-president Jack Abernethy, alleging that early on in her career at Fox, he pursued a personal relationship with her, and when she rejected him, he began trashing her. A Fox News spokesperson telling ABC News Juliet Huddy's letter of intent to sue contained substantial falsehoods, which both men vehemently denied. A person briefed on the situation says Fox was aware of Huddy's, quote, false allegations when they signed Abernethy to a new multi-year deal in September. Huddy left her job at Fox News' affiliate here in New York in September, simply saying it was time for her to move on. We've reached out to her and her lawyers. They've declined to comment.
Which is understandable. All right, Lindsay, thank you very much. Michael, we got another special big board.
Yes, we do, Robin. We're going to talk about what 50 NFL athletes are revealing about the painkiller so many of them use. We're going to find out. Could it be dangerous? Plus, the major backlash over the white actor who's playing Michael Jackson. We're going to be back with that in 2 minutes. Don't look at me like you're surprised about that, Doc.
Every TV doctor knows that when it comes to hospital romances, the more complicated, the better.
I love you.
But I love him.
I love him too.
So do I.
They also know you should get your annual checkup.
It could save your life.
It's a new year. Schedule your checkup today to learn your 4 health numbers and start the year off right. Cigna, together all the way.
Moms know their kids need love, encouragement, and milk. With 8 grams of natural protein and 8 other nutrients to provide balanced nutrition. Moms know kids grow strong when they milk life.
We call what you're experiencing communication issues. Tiffany, why did you dookie on Eric's pillow? She needs a better smelling litter box.
Seriously?
And stronger clumps.
We both want those things.
What you both want is cat's pride.
Cats are complicated. Great litter is simple. Look for Ultimate Care in the green jug.
Hey, hang in there.
Kleenex, someone needs one.
20 times a day.
4 times a night.
How often do you feel the urge to go to the bathroom?
I stopped counting.
Count on Azo Bladder Control. It helps reduce the urge with naturally sourced pumpkin seed, so you can go less and worry less.
Beautiful home decor begins here. Belfort Furniture is expanding. Stop in and celebrate the new year with a fresh new look and save on the styles you love. Our remodeling event is on. To make room for our construction crews, we've drastically reduced floor samples, one-of-a-kinds, and special buys. Save on thousands of pieces. Plus, take an extra 15% off all blue tag items. The latest styles, the very best prices. Beautiful rooms begin at Belfort Furniture, Washington's premier furniture mall.
We're back now with our big board, and ESPN's Jessica Mendoza and Dr. Richard Besser are here at the table for our first story. And we begin with a troubling new investigation. It's into the NFL. The Bleacher Report, in a survey of 50 active players, finds that the league's play-at-all-cost mentality has allegedly led to many to rely on a pain-relieving drug known as Toradol. And Jessica, we're going to begin with you because the subhead of this article says that the drug is pro football's dirty little secret.
It's not a secret, and it's not that it's a secret for any pro athlete to use high anti-inflammatories to be able to cover up pain. I mean, at any level, that is something that's super common. I think what shocked me about the article was the fact that 23 of the 50 NFL players interviewed had said that they've been doing it for years. And when you looked at the box warning that's on Toradol, it says that you're not supposed to use it short term, nothing more than 5 days. So I think that was probably the biggest surprise. They're not using it for days, they're using it for years.
And Dr. Besser, what are the concerns, though, about the drug? Is it they using it, like Jessica just said, more than you should? What does that do to your body?
Right. So Toradol, it's a class of drug called non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, and it's a very strong one. If you read that label, it says it should be used in people who need high-level pain relief at the level of an opioid, typically after surgery. And if you use it that way for a short period of time, it's relatively safe. But 2 health concerns. The first one is it can mask pain. So you have players who are out there who have an injury. They have an injured knee, an injured shoulder. They're going to play through that, and the long-term consequences in terms of damage could be severe. The second is it can increase your risk of bleeding. And it says you should never use it before surgery or anything where you're going to have any kind of a blow, because it could cause bleeding. And the big concern people have, they're raising, could it cause bleeding in the head and damage to the brain?
Wow. And we should mention, in a statement, the NFL says these decisions are made by the club's medical professionals. There is no league-wide policy. Jessica, the article hits on this play-at-all-costs culture. How concerning is that mindset?
Well, I had a similar injection in high school. A softball player trying to get through a tournament had an injection into my shoulder, found out 2 weeks later after I played through it that I had a torn labrum. So exactly what Dr. Besser just said, it's masking. There's a reason you feel pain. You feel pain because something is wrong. So I get it to mask maybe temporarily for a few days, and especially if it's a big deal, I get the NFL guys at the end of the season get through it. But if you're talking years, there is a reason you feel that. I ended up sitting out my freshman fall year because I had that torn labrum just to get through a tournament, and I had a similar injection. So to me, if you feel the pain, there's a reason. Don't use this.
You
to
had
cover it
one
up.
injection.
Yeah, one injection.
Yeah, I mean, a panel of NFL doctors put out a report 5 years ago with recommendations on how to use it. They said it should only be used in players who are on the injured list. It should never be used in players before a game. And that doctors should do nothing that would have them contribute to this idea of play at all costs. Well, that's really good advice.
But one of the first things I was told when I came into the NFL was, you know the difference between pain and injury.
Yep.
There's a big difference. If you're in pain, you can play. If you're injured, sit out.
Yeah, that's where you
got to. Sometimes, but I also must say that I think a lot of it is players as well. Players don't want to miss time.
Yeah, of course not.
And they'll put themselves out there to make sure they can compete.
And yeah, I mean, look at Tony Romo. So many guys, you get injured, one game, and all of a sudden you lose your job. So it makes sense.
Yep, it does. We'll keep our eye on that, see what goes on with that. And another thing that came up that I think has a lot of people surprised is the Michael Jackson backlash. Joseph Fiennes is taking heat for portraying the King of Pop in an upcoming British comedy, and many online are calling it whitewashing. Let's take a look.
I sensed the danger. How was there such keen senses, Michael?
It was like when he sensed Bruce was trying to kill his monkey through beans.
And Larry Hackett is here. And Larry, Michael's daughter, Paris Jackson, she's tweeting about this, saying, I'm so incredibly offended by it, as I'm sure plenty of people are as well, and it honestly makes me want to vomit. Are you surprised by her comments, and are you surprised by the backlash for everybody out there?
No, I'm not surprised by her comments. She worships her father and her father's memory, as do many of his fans. We have talked about whitewashing in the past. There have been examples, for example, of, let's say, Tilda Swinton and Emma Stone being cast in roles that were set for Asian actors or Asian characters. I think this is different. This is a broad, British satire, and I think the casting was done on purpose. I must say, looking at this clip, I personally don't find it terribly offensive. I think the filmmakers were trying to get a rise out of people, and they've done that. And we are sitting here talking about it, and that's what they wanted.
So do you believe, then, that there's a dividing line, perhaps, between what could happen in a drama versus what could happen in a comedy when it comes to something like this?
I think there can be. I think there's one further division, which is between comedy and satire. If you look at a film like Tropic Thunder, which starred Robert Downey as an actor trying to play a black actor, I mean, that was served up as comedy in that, and it was very, very funny. It wasn't about a particular character, obviously. I think in the case of this video that's going to be on in Britain with Michael Jackson, one of the other episodes involves Hitler and Hitler's best friend, and Hitler's best friend is played by the guy who played Ron Weasley, Rupert Grint. This casting is done on purpose to get people to think about the roles and to obviously to kind of put a stick in the eye. That's what satire does, and this is different from somebody else being cast as Michael Jackson in a different way.
All right, Larry, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I want everybody to know I'm playing Tom Hanks in the movie.
I'm going to watch.
Keep your eye out for that, Larry. All right, hey, Jessica, thank you. Dr. Besser, thank you. And coming up in 2 minutes, that amazing avalanche survival video, the birthday gift that may have saved a snowboarder's life. You don't want to miss this.
How was your honeymoon?
Stay with you. This moment, we feel it, secret is ours.
It was great.
Maybe Almond Breeze tastes so good because it's the only almond milk made with California-grown Blue Diamond almonds. Of course, if you ask one of our almond growers, there's no maybe about it. Almond Breeze. The best almonds make the best almond milk.
Here you go. The spare.
Spare? No, I don't want to put anybody else.
Nonsense. We lend it to everybody. Some people we hardly know.
Everyone's dancing their way to La La Land, the winner of a record-shattering 7 Golden Globe Awards.
It's a classic.
Including Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Picture of the Year. It's
very exciting.
Don't miss La La Land. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Hurry into Lowe's for huge deals across the entire store. Now get up to 30% off select appliance special values $3.96 or more, like this washer and dryer pair for $4.99 each. Plus, get 18-month special financing on appliances, flooring, kitchen, and bath items. Don't miss out on great savings right now at Lowe's.
My bladder wake me up from my sweet dreams? Thanks to Tenor, not tonight. Only Tenor overnight underwear with its secure barrier system gives you triple protection from leaks, odor, and moisture. Tenor lets you be you.
What if the sweet stevia leaf was discovered before the sugar cane? All our favorite sugary foods would be our favorite Truvia-y foods. Truvia, life with less sugar is just as sweet.
We are back with that snowboarder slid through an avalanche, 20 terrifying seconds before he saved by his backpack. All caught on camera. Diane Macedo here with the story. Hey, Diane.
George, good morning. We just spoke to the man's father. He says his son is a full-time snowboarder in Whistler, Canada, so the family gave him this backpack as an early birthday gift. Little did they know it would save his life just a week later.
It started out as an ordinary run down the slopes, but then watch as the ground just falls out beneath 29-year-old Tom Owie. The heavy snow engulfs him and then drags him down the mountain, giving him almost no time to react. The Australian snowboarder says he survived that 20-second plunge thanks to a backpack like this. Just pull the ripcord and the bag inflates, lifting you upward and reducing your chances of suffocating underneath the snow. And it's not the first time an avalanche like this has been caught on camera. This Colorado snowboarder's backpack kept him from being buried alive back in 2012. As for Owie, he says this wasn't how he was planning to start his morning. and is urging others to stay safe out there.
And his father says Tom's actual birthday is this coming Sunday. So needless to say, the family is very glad that they didn't wait to give him his birthday gift this year.
Incredible.
Amazing coincidence, isn't it? And he says he's been snowboarding for more than 11 years now and has never experienced an avalanche before. So this was completely just an abundance
meant
of
to be, it
a
seems
caution
like.
or a hunch or whatever you want to call it.
And he got the GoPro that he caught it on the year before, the birthday gift.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Oh, I believed you. I was just thinking, oh, I missed
Reel her
that.
right in.
This is for real. That emotional reunion, the twins, Gracie and Audrey, separated as babies. They met in person for the first time. Wait till you see their first day together when they left us.
Coming up, GMA's Be a Vet for Your Pet, brought to you by Iams Pet Food. Good for life.
Come on, Duck! You can do it, Duck. Hurry up, Duck!
You can do it, Duck.
Iams helps keep your dog healthy at every stage, so you can always look forward to what's next.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
Learn more about better breathing at mybrio.com.
How do you become America's best-selling brand?
Breathing.
Breathing, let's go.
You make it protective.
Faster?
Just trying to be safe.
You make it hard-working. You make it so everyone's happy. Going further to make life better. That's Ford. And that's how you become America's best-selling brand.
Critics and audiences everywhere are celebrating Hidden Figures, the #1 movie in America.
Deal me in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, we can change the world.
Hidden Figures, rated PG, now playing.
I always thought that cigarette smoking just messed up your lungs. I never thought that at only 45 would give me a heart attack. My tip is, do your heart a favor and quit now.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
What's the best way to get 2 servings of veggies? V8 or a powdered drink? Ready? Go.
Done. You gotta shake it. I shake it. Glad I had a V8.
The original way to fuel your day.
Only one likes to live. You're never gonna get it back. Let's go.
Get 30% off every guest in the Caribbean and start wandering now. Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
This is the food system. But what if it didn't have to be? At Blue Apron, we're building a better food system where we value quality and flavor over quantity and shelf life. Where chefs and farmers work together to make farms healthier, grow higher quality ingredients, and deliver them in season, ripe and ready to cook. Because food is better when you start from scratch. Blue Apron.
Back here on GMA, you know what you do when you get your 5th largest snowfall on record? You do this. That's right, the Oregon Zoo with the elephant. See, everybody was loving the snow. All that brought to you by Blue Apron, your local news and weather.
There's no greater feeling than getting out early in the morning and catching some me time in my Civic.
I love to turn my music all the way up and feel the wind in my hair. Bluetooth, rear view camera, I get all of this at a price I can afford. Plus it's a Honda, so you know it's safe. I'm good to go.
Get going in a Honda Civic for $179 a month. $179 a month.
Don't settle for less than a Honda. I did it.
Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Now at Haverty's Furniture, it's our New Year's savings event. Save up to $1,000 in bonus discounts to create your perfect home. Plus, you'll get 24-month no-interest financing. Hurry, the New Year's savings event ends January 16th. With Haverty's, your home can be perfect, even when life isn't. The New Year's savings event at Haverty's. Life looks good.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Royal Caribbean. Come seek the Royal Caribbean.
Hold on to your buns. The Great American Baking Show. Season finale tonight on ABC.
Do you realize what happens if you're convicted of a felony? Oh my God! You're suspended. Effective immediately. 30 years to life.
Grey's Anatomy returns Thursday, January 26th on ABC.
From ABC 7 News, this is a Good Morning Washington update.
Good morning, Washington. I'm Melanie Hastings. Here are some top stories and happening right now in Baltimore. 6 children are unaccounted for after a house fire, and firefighters believe that they may be trapped inside. 4 people were able to escape. 3 of them, including 2 children, are in critical condition. A firefighter was also hurt. We have a crew on the way right now, and we will update you just as soon as we learn more. And Eulalia Tordil heads to court accused in a deadly 2-day shooting spree across Montgomery and Prince George's counties. Today's hearing is to determine whether there is probable cause to move forward in the case against him. He's accused of shooting 5 people, killing 3 last May. Among the victims, his estranged wife, who he allegedly shot in the parking lot of High Point High School in Beltsville. We've got more mild temperatures on the way today. Here's Veronica Johnson.
Get out and enjoy today. Temperatures are going to be very mild, getting into the 60s, some 20 degrees higher than average. Now, we'll have partly sunny conditions, breezy also during the afternoon with that wind out of the southwest. And you'll want to get out and just do whatever you can today. Get the walk, the run in, because Saturday is a weather alert day for us as we will be dealing with some wintry weather. Snow starts at 3 a.m., switches over to freezing rain, icy roads expected, probably an inch of that slush. And then Sunday, the better day with sunshine returning.
We're tied up in the district right now, Veronica. Police tell us that an investigation closes DC 295, both directions between the 11th Street Bridge and Pennsylvania Avenue. Also on the Southeast-Southwest Freeway, eastbound lanes tied up with that investigation on your approach to the 11th Street Bridge. We are looking live at 395 northbound, just after Duke Street, the accident activity on the side of the roadway. Capitol Beltway near Georgetown Pike, major delays with a lane blocked and a collision. Melanie?
All right, Angela, thanks. And you can get more news, traffic, and weather updates now on Good Morning Washington over on News Channel 8. We're back with another local update here in 30 minutes. And now we'll send it over to Good Morning America. Hope you have a great day.
Jeopardy is just a click away.
Keyboard cat, dad bod, memes.
Be a part of the fun.
Yaz Queen.
Tonight at 7:30 on ABC 7.
Everyone is coming to the 2017 Washington Auto Show. I've seen the guest list. This year, 3 amazing floors of exotic and luxury models, sports and performance cars, full-size compacts, SUVs, hybrids, electrics, with all the latest technology. And of course, contests, celebrities, and family fun. I bet you just saw your next car. The Washington Auto Show at the Washington Convention Center, January 27th through February 5th. Tickets at WashingtonAutoShow.com.
I got you, I promise. I'm not gonna...